Hello and welcome to this new video. In this video, we will discuss about Untold Truth about GetX. Basically, I will sharing some insight into the challenges you may encounter when you are using GetX for Flutter development. Our purpose is quite simple, just to identify the challenges with GetX and how might they affect your Flutter app. So, without further ado, let's get started. So our first disadvantage is GetX provides simplicity. Yes, the simplicity of GetX's approach is appreciated, but it comes at the cost of understanding important topics. There are significant differences between GetX and pure Flutter when it's come to managing routing. Just look at this. And also same as for theme manage. So, as you see, how it's done in GetX code, quite simple, but it's eliminate the use of build context, arguably the most important concept in Flutter. There's magic all around. There are many beginner Flutter developers who use GetX. They think they don't have to deal with the build context and will able to build and ship a faster. But they avoid many important topics that Flutter developer should know. For example, many users switched to GetX because they didn't have to worry about build context when using GetX. Whether it was while navigation, changing theme, managing the state, or showing alert dialog, or snake bar. It's easy to use because developer can do whatever they want from whenever they are. But this comes at the cost of knowing more important topics. If GetX developer start doing real project, just for simple example, like if I am creating any applications for GetX for 2 years, after that if I need to switch for normal state management or even for the normal Flutter applications, so I maybe encounter lot of problem because I don't know about such things like build context. So our second disadvantage is GetX forced to replace Flutter component. So when you use GetX for Flutter project, many of component are replaced with GetX component, including a material route. As a result of this replacement, if the Flutter team updates some properties in the material route, GetX might take a while to incorporate the changes due to need of completely rewrite the get material route. Another example is when you use snake bar. GetX snake bar is neither a material design nor a couple design. So third point is GetX tends to use anti-pattern. So as I already mentioned, it neither follow material design nor Cupertino design when displaying the snake bar. It also violates the unidirectional data flow principle, which means that data will flow only one way when being transferred to different part of it. To put more simply for a developer, it have higher probability of going against architecture pattern like MVC and MVVM when using GetX. GetX promote principle might be easier and will work fine in the beginning, but remember the quote from clean book. Even bad code can function, but if code isn't clean, it can bring a development organization to its knee. Every year, countless hours and significant resources are lost because of poorly written code, but it doesn't have to be that way. So, if you continue to use their deck, you need to continuously ensure that you are following the right principle. When using, it's quite easy to go off track because of the solution it provides. It's let's shift to our fourth disadvantage. So, fourth point is GetX tries to do everything. As you know, GetX do all the things with state management as well, like which include routing, dependencies, validation, initialization, storage, theming, etc. While relying on single plugin like GetX for all these tasks might look convenient, but it's worth nothing that if often developer or individual developer or even for small community without corporate backing or funding, if the developer can no longer maintain this plugin and no task is over, it user might be encounter compatibility issue. Like if Flutter evolve and introduce new features or removing existing one, GetX is also harm on all those features. Thus, relying on single package can be risky for all these tasks. So fifth point is the level of documentation for GetX need improvements. So according to pub.dev, GetX gets 753 out of 2138, which is 35.1% of total API element have documentation comments, as compared to other state management solutions like Block has 94.2, Riverpod has 93.1, and Provider has 87.7%. It's unfair to compare with GetX with all those state management tools because GetX is more than just a state management tool. However, the point is that documenting the code is quite important for the package. There are many hidden features as a result of lack of documentation in the code. Mainly thing is many classes, variable methods have not having comments. This thing matter, right? Because it's quite difficult for a new developer to contribute in this package. If these things are absent, this is probably why most commit are managed by author himself in a GetX, as you see. I think it's not a good indication because bringing new changes in this package gets slower down when the majority of work is done by only one person. This situation get lot more serious when when we can compare that Flutter is also updating himself in every new update. So whenever Flutter is updating, GetX is also updating himself, like adding new features or updating some changes inside there. So it's possibility that this changes updations is slower down because all the things are managed by mostly by only one person, right? So last point is the unusual number of API element in GetX. So if you are using GetX as a state management tool, you will get all these extra functions for utilizing GetX. As you see, like GetX using 2153 API element as compared to others like Riverpod has 726, Provider has 204, and Block has 155. So it's quite strange for a package. There are so many APIs, right? So only for state management tool, I don't think so why there are so much APIs if we need to use. So in a conclusion, what do you think? You should GetX or not? So in my opinion, whether or not to use GetX ultimately depend on your specific project requirement. While every package has its own set of advantage and disadvantages, GetX has lot of benefit features that make it popular choice amongst developers. It has state management system, dependency injection, routing capabilities, reactive programming, and developer tools are highly regarded, and it can help make your app development process more efficient and streamlined. However, it's important to evaluate that your need and determine if GetX aligns to your project goal before deciding to incorporate into your code base. So that's all about my information on this topic. So if you enjoy this video, give it thumbs up and hit subscribe button. Your support means a lot. So stay tuned for more videos and thank you for being here. Have a good day.